Hey muchachos, this video we're going to talk about the difference between questions in Spanish and questions in English. And the similarities too, there's a lot of similarities. So the first thing you'll notice when you see a question in Spanish is it has an upside down question mark, okay, at the beginning. That's how it starts out. I always find it's easier to write them if you start at the bottom and go up like I did on that one, rather than if you try and start at the top, it looks like an unfinished D. But anyway, so that's how I write them. Start at the bottom and then wind your way up. Put a little dot there, okay? This is very useful because some questions in Spanish don't have words like we do in English. Like when you have a question in English like do or does or did, that word doesn't, we don't use that word in Spanish, and so this takes the place of that. If you use an interrogative like who, what, when, where, why, how, it's the same as English, and so you already know it's a question is coming, okay? But and also in Spanish your voice goes up at the end, and so you say like eres tu alto, you would kind of go up just to emphasize that it's a question, and you know your voice is going to go up because the sentence will start with an upside down question mark, okay? The other thing about questions in Spanish is we will move the subject to behind the verb. So if we're just making a statement and we're just saying, wow, you are tall. Tu eres alto. That's our statement. And we have our subject and then the verb and then the adjective. If we're going to make this into a question and say, are you tall? Then we'll put the verb first. Eres tu alto? And then there's my question. Okay, notice I move my subject after the verb. Okay, so that's a lot of times you'll see that, and sometimes it won't come. Sometimes it won't come till the very end. Like you could ask, "Are the boys tall?" Let's just say, "Are the girls tall?" So you could say question mark son altas las chicas. Here's my subject. We put it way at the end. And then we have the verb and the adjective. So sometimes it'll look like this. But a lot of times you won't know who you're asking about until you get to the very end of the question. Now we're asking, are the girls tall? That's how that reads. Okay? Okay, so that's questions in Spanish and little similarities and differences. All right.